was a gun.
I'm not voting.
If we want to build our nation.
The problem with the Somalians.
Just want to experience something else than a black man.
Move on, move
Can't be like
forward.
a horse with blinkers on.
Honestly say, I was about to have
Corrupt
sex and then I pulled
crap,
up.
but it's nice.
Hi there, my name is Ibrahim Oosthuizen. I'm from Lansdowne, Cape Town, South Africa.
My name is Benjamin. My surname is Blom. I'm from Khayelitsha in Cape Town.
Hi, I'm Chantal. I'm originally from Pretoria, but I'm studying in Cape Town.
Hi, I'm Simeon and I'm from Takai in Cape Town.
Xolani Ngobeni is from home. I'm Mpumalanga and I'm residing in the most famous Khayelitsha.
I am Zizipho Ndlwana, originally from the Eastern Cape. I live in Cape Town and I work at the Peninsula University of Technology.
There's this, I don't know, can I call it a myth or can I call it a rumor that Dubai was a desert that grew into something else now, that grew into the most visited place in the world. I think I was also watching a video in this other, I was at home, yeah. So they said the Emirate airport is one airport that has more flights going in and out, taking off and landing in a day in the world. But what I'm trying to say is the rumor says it was not just built by the government, it's the elites that decided we can change this. So if the government were to say, look, we've got, I think it was 437 richest people in this country. We're talking about the elites, not just your million rand, then you think you're rich. We're talking about the elites, very, very few. Right? But we take those people, sit down with them at the table, tell them, listen guys, look here, you've got so much money. Why don't we develop the country with the money that you have? Bottom line, at the end of the day, it's business that is going to be taking place there. They will still be making more profit, more than ever. But building something that will attract tourists into the country, which is one thing that we prioritize more in the country, something that will create more than just one job opportunities in the country. We claim to have a very busy airport, one of the busiest airports in the country, which is our Cape Town International Airport, which is a quarter of what OR Tambo is. If we were to make this bigger, it will be more and more busier, and that's more job creation. That's more people out from the streets and doing nothing. If we were to create a bigger, what do they call this place in America that they love? Kids going to play there. A bigger place like this, Disney World, something like that. That's more job creation. That's more income coming in. People want to go there. I'd want to take my kids there every weekend. My kids, that's a bit of release of stress. I'm taking my kids there. I'm relaxing with my wife at home. They play the whole day. I come back and pick them. They're making money. But that is not, if it were to not to be managed by the government, probably the government subsidize or be there halfly, and those business people be there halfly with their money, with the contribution that they do. I believe that such thing could make a huge difference in the country if they were to get together and say, look, we see this huge vast land. Let's not use it for residential, which I hate what South African wants to use all the land for. Let's use it for something productive. Let's use it for something that will bring money into the country, but still at the same time create a lot within the very small communities that we have.
I think X is a very, very intelligent point there. Also, just a point of correction, it's not Cape Town Airport, it's Winnie Madikizela Airport. Moving along, I think with business, it cannot be argued that they have a very, very big responsibility, or rather, they have a big duty. I want to say it's a duty in society to create more jobs. But I think more than anything else, what they should try and look at is to try and find innovative and sustainable measures. I mean, for someone that's in the sports industry, if you're looking at Cape Town Stadium, for example, it was great. I mean, it was built in 2010 and whatnot, but has it been able to generate more income after the World Cup? Those are one of the things that we need to look at, sustainability for people. Because, yes, sure, it's become a white elephant, basically. It created more jobs, but only for that period. What happens after? You know, and people are going to be sustained by sustainable measures, and those need to be created not only by the government, but it needs to be something that we create for ourselves as society, and that society includes the corporate world, unfortunately.
It is very important that people actually become educated.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
And touching on your point on that, 2 families in the country can actually fund education. Talking about the Oppenheimers, talking about the Ruperts. They can fund that. But how do we get that to happen? How do we bring them to the table and say, you know what, there is this need? Because they're sitting there, it's not that they do not see the need. The need is there. but how do we do it? I'm taken back to a debate between Clem Santa and Julius Malema, the Cape Chambers. I'm not sure if you remember that debate. And Clem Santa was for actually developing the country through entrepreneurship. Julius, of course, take the land.
Yes.
No, it does not just take the land. But SOEs and being able to get the best people for the right positions, instead of the cadre deployment and all that kind of stuff. But then we have to think of, really, where do we get these best people? Because the majority of the people that are actually voting for them now are the illiterate.
True.
That is true. Most people that don't want to vote are actually the middle class, the people that actually do have jobs.
Have light. People that have light.
Exactly. Now, so how do we strike a balance there? The people that we say, okay, we want you to vote, we want you to pay tax, we want you to do this and this and this and that, but then we think, we have not been educating you, and we're saying now, in order to develop the country, we need to get the best of the best, but where does that best of the best come from if we are not educating the people that are on the ground?
Correct.
You know what's really nice is that everything you've been talking about, actually everybody here, is about growing and developing the country. Not about taking stuff, but about growing and looking at opportunities and partnerships with the Oppenheimers or the Ruperts or whoever it might be, because there's a lot of people who you can partner with. But they actually need to talk to you guys. But I think you were quite right when you were saying there's this kind of old boys club. and it transcends periods, hey? Because it's embedded in a complex way. And really, it's young people with the vision to take the country forward, talking about it's like an aspirational thing. But you guys want to be achieving things in your lives which are really exciting and worthwhile. We don't want to be fighting and turning our backs on things because they become so bad. And I think really people like whoever it might be need to listen to what you're saying. So hopefully this sort of dialogue can be shared more broadly, because it's
Also a point, Prof, what would be like a sad thing is when you do have those old boys there that have the money, and of course they have kids and things rub off on kids. What would be worse is if it goes on another generation. What would be another thing would be sad is if, let's say there's no kids or no nothing and the money just, wherever, these things vanish. Right? Then it's back in the hands of someone else that is exactly the same. That would be the worst
It's
possible.
generational.
It's just general. You pick up what you, if we take a simple example of you have a kid, and I'm not even going to use an example, I'm going to use myself as an example. I have a cousin that lives with me, he's about 10 years old, but he sees I do push-ups at night. Then some nights I'd catch him, he'd also want to do push-ups at night, and that's so simple. It's just catching with the eye. It's that simple. So imagine we're using money, we're educating, we're doing all these things. Our generations need to pick it up. We need to actually set the example. Let me put it that way. As a midway through, as a bit older working class, as even our senior, I'm talking about our people that has lived through apartheid, for example. We all need to be examples to these kids.
One of the reliefs I actually had when Ramaphosa took his crown, yes, his crown, the Venda Nation. So one of the reasons I was so relieved, I was like, he has money, he's not going to steal ours. Do you understand? So I was like, okay, it's not new money, we're safe, we're going far as the country, and then boom. 50%. No, but he didn't finish school. So I'm assuming that he's from a desert.
Maybe you can say he's not as greedy. Let's put it that way.
But he's not greedy because he's used to a deep pocket.
Yeah, we don't know yet, but if you look at it like you read Animal Farm and things like that, greed is always going to be it's always going to be there. The minute you're in power and you got some power.
That cost a fortune.
Just five cars.
Just 5 cars.
Just 5 cars. I think for me, just to close off for me, I have a question. I think you have a question. Yeah.
One question I want to bring up now, it's just a general question. More jobs for everybody, or control who's coming in and give control who's coming in. Yeah, control what's coming. I mean, I see a Pakistani shop, for example, open up every second day in my area. I see a Nigerian this, or a Somalian this, or South African people now. Do we make more jobs to cater for everybody, or do we have more control over what's actually coming in and staying?
The need for job creation can never be exaggerated.
No, I'm just asking.
Never.
And the other one, the other option, I don't think should be even put as an option. We are African. You know what I mean?
No, I do get what you mean.
The reality is that we all face similar challenges.
Yeah,
you know.
we all do. I don't think that's not even.
I think our distribution of money and things, that should change. I feel like people should be more there should be better rules, maybe with corporate responsibility or social responsibility, and maybe more things should be maybe more monitored, like. Instead of just saying, okay, yeah, you know what, here's 2 million rand, can make a difference in the community, I gave it to you, and then just not actually seeing anything filter through, or just hopefully I read about it somewhere in the paper where they're explaining, oh, these people had a thing and it made them happy and whatever. I'm talking about actually physically invested into somewhere where it's going to make a difference. And I feel that even if you're a corporate or you're a governor or whoever you may be, have a more hands-on approach in what you're doing. My dream is for people to be less selfish in this world.
My dream is to be a successful entrepreneur and a humanitarian. I think for a young man that grew up in Khalid, I want to eradicate poverty. And for me to do that, I need to create opportunities in society. And I also understand that people have a lot of trauma, they carry a lot of systematic trauma in them, and it's my duty as a humanitarian to try and make a difference in society. I think there's a very vital need for that.
My dream is just to be financially free.
So my dream was and could be to climb Everest, because you go and see amazing places and do amazing things. But to do that, you need to be enabled. And because I'm an educator, I understand, I think, the importance of enabling people. But we need to enable people in the new technological era, which we're moving into, because that's the world you're living in. And by doing that, we can empower people to go forwards. You can't put the empowerment before the enabling. We've got to enable people with the skills, the knowledge, and the abilities and confidence so that they can become empowered.
My dream is to do away with the system or the style of education we're being educated.
My dream is for the nation to do away with the lie or the BS of the Rainbow Nation. That's just nonsense.
Yazi, you should ever sit and talk with people, or else take a walk and create a straight talk. Talk what is nice, it will make you feel stronger. Listen what is right and say what is wrong. You should ever sit and talk with people, or else take a walk and create a straight talk. Talk what is nice, it will make you feel stronger. Listen what is right and say what is wrong.